top-down fashion.
I take
but
your
that's
point.
What he has said.
I'd like to welcome Jay Panda.
Genuinely believes
I'd
it.
like to welcome Jay Panda of the BJD
Good man.
in one of the first live interviews at a time when the talk of a super NDA is really gaining ground. And Jay Panda is still non-committal on the idea of a super NDA, but he's not ruling it out either. Derek O'Brien, who looks increasingly perturbed at the thought of a super NDA because Mamata Banerjee would not be part of it. And
what are you saying? What?
And Subramaniam. Well, the discussion hasn't even begun. The discussion hasn't even begun. 1 second. The discussion hasn't even begun. Hold it. Okay. And Subramaniam Swamy, super NDA Subramaniam Swamy. Possible in your view that many parties will gravitate, including Jayalalithaa, with whom, by the way, you organized that historic Tea Party in the late 90s?
Well, I think we are thinking much more in terms of concentric circles of power. The BJP, and then its long-term allies.
Right.
And then the other allies like ADMK and BJD and so on. So we certainly, as Parikar said very correctly, we are looking for a wide, inclusive governance system. But it's not only a question of vote in Rajya Sabha, because most of the items in the manifesto don't require legislation. Tax reforms doesn't require legislation. Infrastructure development doesn't require legislation. So I think we will like as many people to come on board as possible, because there may be occasion when we might have to pass a constitutional amendment, so we need 2/3 majority.
Very interesting.
But at the core will be the BJP,
yes,
and then the allies who have been always with us, and then of course this others who want to come in, and I think they have a good reason to want, because they want to be on the right side of the center. All states.
What do you mean by be on the right side of the center?
What happens to them?
That is, you see, they have the center today provides a large amount of funds of the budget of state.
You can't discriminate on the basis of who's with you or not with you. Please reveal your intentions when you say that.
Well, I mean, it is if you're friendly terms, it's much easier to negotiate a large sum.
But that's over. It's political. 1 second. Subramaniam Swamy sets the cat among the pigeons. 1 minute, gentlemen. 1 minute. As usual, Subramaniam Swamy has set the cat among the pigeons. 1 minute.
Look, everybody is
and Naveen,
this is not news.
And 1 second.
This is not
Jay
news.
Panda shakes his head. Sankarshan, Jay Panda doesn't agree because he doesn't want to agree on that. And Derek O'Brien is stunned. You have any questions, or should I take the discussion between them?
No, but this is reality.
What is reality?
Right, the fact that obviously all states that are going to be friendly towards you will get that little bit extra. It's not that you'll ignore. 1 second, one second, yeah. I'm speaking for the first time now. Today, all I'm saying is that it's not that you'll ignore the states. You will obviously give a little more. Even every parent, all children are equal. Never.
How can you do that? How can you do that? 1 minute. Okay.
Go against the Constitution of India.
Blackmail and threat. What is reality?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Go over the last 60 years, has all states got equal money? You all are blind.
No,
you all don't know what reality is. One is an idealistic situation, one is a reality.
That is the main reason he said Chief Minister's Conference. That is the main reason Chief Ministers even take with
1 minute.
Doesn't mean
1 minute.
What's wrong?
Now,
Rajya Sabha will not be a testing case. We will have all Chief Ministers together.
Why does that be an extreme? I'm not
I
saying
think for the
zero.
first time,
Chief Ministers are not there. All anti-Congress Chief Ministers. Attracted towards Modi.
Mr. Rajagopalan, there are only 10 of us here in the studio. 1 minute. Mr. Sulia, there are 10 of us. Can you imagine a speaker with 543? Look at the politicians are laughing at us. Just a minute, please. One sec. What's going on, Jay Panda? What's going on here? This is a clear confession from Mr. Subramaniam Swamy that there will be a partisan distribution of funds based upon whether you're on the right side and can do friendly business with the BJP. Is this going to be the basis of your new arrangement with the BJP. Mr. Panda, everyone's looking at you. Let him speak.
Arnab, first of all, this so-called new arrangement that you are speaking about, you have referred to it as some kind of a super coalition.
Super NDA.
Let me be very clear that as of now, it is only super speculation.
You haven't ruled it out. No, one second. Mr. I had you on record this morning in your interview to ANI. I would like to remind you, you said that your speaker or other senior party leader has mooted the idea of working with the BJP, which is then going to be taken through your party consultative process. Am I quoting you wrong?
No, you're quoting me right, but please allow me to complete what I was saying. As you know, the BJD has taken a equidistant stand from both the Congress and the BJP, and this has been supported by the people of Odisha. And it is also true that there is a widespread and long-held belief in Odisha that we have been getting stepmotherly treatment from the center. So, despite the fact that I don't agree with what Shri Subramaniam Swamy is saying, it's a reality. The reality is that Odisha has been treated very badly. Now, and it is true, I acknowledge that a couple of my colleagues...
1 minute. No, let him complete.
Within the last 24 years.
Calm down. Let him complete. Let him complete. He has a right. He has a right to make his comments. Don't interrupt him, please. I'll come back. Yeah, complete.
Within the last 24 hours, a couple of my colleagues have mooted the idea. Today, the BJD President, Shri Naveen Patnaik, has clarified that no such issue is being contemplated. It has not been discussed, and we are now on the brink of the results. So there's no point in indulging in speculation. Let's wait for the results. If there is a demand within the party, it shall be discussed.
Well, Mr. Jay Panda, you weigh your words very carefully. And in that sense, you've learnt the fine art of weighing your words from your party's top boss, Naveen Patnaik, who measures his words in micromilligrams, perhaps. And Naveen Patnaik said the following thing. He said, there are no talks on yet, right? And the second thing he says, we'll see after the 16th. So you're keeping the option open. Derek O'Brien, stunned, shook his head a million times while you were speaking out there. But that's the reality. Hook, line and sinker, every single regional party except the Trinamool Congress is falling for...
Why do you say Ram?
Is falling for the Super NDA idea. You're the one looking isolated. You're the one looking isolated, Derek.
Arnab.
1 second.
Arnab.
Yeah.
You are a very good anchor, but a very bad reader of body language. So stop reading my body language every time I come onto your show. Thank you. 2 points. Super NDA is a superb hashtag to trend on Twitter between the last day of the elections. And very good. You keep that Super NDA, you keep it trending. You know our position is very clear. Because
are you feeling left out?
If you keep trending these initials or these abbreviations, careful that another one doesn't trend, which may embarrass you. And that will be a hashtag called hashtag Super ORG. Because people are saying you haven't used the original ORG for your survey, you've used the Super ORG. So you be careful when you use the word super. Okay, so Derek,
now I know that you're feeling hurt. I would like to quickly respond to you that there is 1 second. Derek, don't be like the 1 second. Don't be like the other people. Don't be like some other people who I will not name, who without checking their facts ended up making highly ridiculous comments which they would have to eat their own words later, because ORG India did the poll for Times Now. That has been set, record has been set straight. Those who have spoken haste, they had to eat their own words. That's not the issue, Derek. Come back to the subject. Come back to the subject. Don't look defensive.
Yes, tell me, what is the subject?
Don't look defensive. Don't look defensive. The subject is very simple, Derek O'Brien.
What is your question, Baba? Tell me your question.
The question is, the AIADMK and the BJD are looking very seriously at the option of working with the BJP. The question is, these were the two pillars of your so-called federal front. What happened to your so-called federal front? Evaporated even before the 16th?
I'll tell you. Oh, pillars evaporating is a very bad mixed metaphor, but doesn't matter. The BJD will speak for themselves. The AIADMK will speak for themselves. Trinamool Congress is speaking for itself.
Yeah, but
we are here to party with you. We will here to party with you till the 16th. And on the 16th morning, I told you this on television before, as per your numbers, I think you said NDA is more than 273 or less than 273. What does your poll say, or super poll? What does it say?
No, you talk for yourself. You have seen all the polls are all out there. You tell me who's the member of the Federal Front. You tell Subramaniam Swamy today. Because and notice the fact that Jay Panda. Notice the fact that Jay Panda has not said we will not work with the BJP. Here is the option for Jay Panda to say we will not work with the BJP, but he's not doing that. And he's left you in the lurch.
I'm telling you.
And Subramaniam Swamy is smiling.
I'm telling you we will not work. Let Subramaniam Swamy smile now. It's okay. I don't need to respond to Subramaniam Swamy. He'll be the Twitter Prime Minister.
Subramaniam Swamy, what explains Derek O'Brien's? What explains Derek O'Brien's?
Don't belittle the Twitter. Twitter is going to take over the country, and that time you'll have to run.
I'm also on Twitter.
Modi was going to
we go tweet.
Oh, so you're jealous. That's the problem.
Well, this is...
No.
Well, there is an option here.
I'm not jealous.
Now, be clear on it. Let's get serious.
For me, no option.
Swamy.
Clear.
The question.
I think...
No laughing, no Twitter.
You
come to the point.
I think we are on a very serious subject.
What is TMC
No, one second. Hartosh, do you feel...
What is Trinamool stand?
Do you feel Derek O'Brien is avoiding the subject here today?
I told you the Trinamool stand. I told you.
You run away from this.
Who wants to know?
Mr. Rajagopalan.
If NDA, I'll tell you the Trinamool stand, Ornob. If NDA are short of numbers to get to 273, the Trinamool Congress will not help them reach 273. Thank you and good evening.
And if they're already
One second, follow-up question. Yes, Navika.
If they're already past 272, then will you make it a super NDA to get your West Bengal package and help them in a smooth running of the government in both houses?
Super NDA is a hashtag on Twitter. I won't comment on that. The Finance Commission of India has listed 3 debt-stressed states: Punjab, Kerala, and Bengal. As per those Finance Commission recommendations, Bengal doesn't need to go with a begging bowl. It is the right of Bengal to get that money.
Well, I don't know. Jay Panda, I just, one second. Jay Panda, on the 14th of March, there was severe criticism of your leader, Naveen Patnaik from Narendra Modi. He said, does your chief minister have time for you people? I think he spoke at a speech. We do not need such a sample in Delhi who sleeps and does not perform. Why should I waste my time speaking on him? There had been a lot of speculation in the media about Patnaik leading the proposed third front if it came to power. I found it interesting at that time that Naveen Patnaik did not join the third front meeting which happened on the 26th of February. The general belief, Mr. Jay Panda, is that was at the time when, there had an informal conversation started between the BJP and the BJD. Am I correct? Is this informal conversation 3-month-old?
No. 2 things. First of all, the facts need to be corrected, irrespective of what Mr. Modi might have said on the campaign, and as Sri Swamy was pointing out, many not accurate things sometimes get said. The fact is, within the last dozen years, there has been a dramatic turnaround in Odisha's fortunes. If you look at the economic condition today, if you look at governance issues, it has been widely praised for things like disaster management. I can go on. And regarding any informal discussions, the party president himself has today clarified that there are no talks. So the answer to you is a clear no.
No, I don't think that was the question. And I find it very interesting, Nirja, that each time I'm asking a question about a political alliance, Jay Panda is responding by talking about the economic needs of the people of Odisha. It almost appears to me that Mr. Panda
it appears pointed out something that Mr. Modi said.
No, but Mr. Panda, I have the right to...
Ask me a specific question, I'll ask you.
But I have a right to interpret what you're saying. My interpretation of what you're saying is that you're building an economic rationale for a political arrangement. I just want to bounce that off the senior journalists who are on the panel. Do you think so, Nirja Chaudhary? What do you think?
I think from what Mr. Panda, Derek O'Brien and earlier Jayalalithaa is supposed to have said, AIADMK and BJD are keeping their options open.
Yeah.
But Mamta is obviously not going to join and bail out Modi if that government falls short of numbers.
Yeah.
But we will have many parties, Arnab, wanting to tie up with the NDA if the NDA is near enough majority.
Sure.
And we may look at a phenomenon of outside support this time, which would suit both the BJP and would suit these allies to give issue-based support, not be part of the alliance. And I think that super NDA that you're looking at could have a different kind of, not entry necessarily, but some kind of an arrangement.
I completely agree. I completely agree with Nirja. What is much more likely is a kind of issue-based support. After all, they have to work with the central government. I mean, even if you dislike, even Mamta has to also work with the central government. After all, there will be dealings between a state government and a central government.
Yeah.
As far as the BJD is concerned, I don't think Naveen Patnaik would necessarily be particularly interested in having a few ministers of his party in the government.
Well, really?
Yeah, I don't think Mr. Naveen Patnaik himself... The speculation is that
Jay Panda would be his choice in the Modi government.
It doesn't matter.
No, Mr. Jay Panda says no.
No. Jay is a good friend. So, I wouldn't say what his personal interest may be. But his personal preferences may be anything.
He wants to clarify. We took his name. We must let him clarify.
No.
Yes.
The question of participating in a government has not even mooted. That is not on the table.
Yeah.
What has been mooted by a couple of our party members is that in lieu of a special package to correct historical negligence of Odisha, we should consider support. But that is an issue.
No. That is very telling, isn't it? In view, and that's it. In view of the need to correct a historical shortfall or whatever, I don't remember the exact word, negligence of the people of Odisha, an arrangement can be made in which means you give me a big economic package, you support me with a huge economic package, and I give you support or outside support. I know he's shaking his head. I know Naveen Patnaik. I know Jay is shaking his head. But he has the right to. Before I go to the break, I'll come to you on the other side of the break.
Quickly say this.
This is exactly what I said.
Jay, yes, Subramaniam Swami says this is exactly what he said. Jay, can I come to you on the other side of a short break? And before I go into the break, I just want to present the worst case and the best case scenario. Derek O'Brien, don't say namaskar and go away. We haven't finished with you yet. The best case and worst case scenario. Yes, best case and worst case scenario that can happen to the NDA. This is the best case scenario for the NDA right now. We're talking of a super NDA. The best case scenario is NDA gets a solid 292, BJD comes in with about 10 to 12, ADMK gets about 27, this is from the poll of polls, and you build a super NDA, a governing outside circle of 331. How bad can things get? The super NDA idea is also good if the NDA falls to the lowest possible number, which has come in the polls of about 220. This is a more realistic situation where a super NDA arrangement is required. It falls to a lowest ever number of about 220. BJD comes in, ADMK comes in, their numbers are not affected. Trinamool comes in, and an NDA is formed of 283. If the Trinamool does not come, which is why the question will be asked, Mamta Banerjee becomes critical to an arrangement if the NDA falls to 220. She then has bargaining power. And ladies and gentlemen, in politics and in government formation, bargaining power does count, doesn't it? I'm quickly back on the other side of a short break on our big debate on the developing story today of a super NDA formation that the BJP is working towards.